Most people looking to buy property in the UAE go straight to Dubai. But the biggest opportunity right now is 90 minutes down the road on an island most investors haven't even heard of. I'm talking about Hudayriyat Island in Abu Dhabi. Now, this isn't just another master plan. This is government-backed, oceanfront, and sits in the wealthiest emirate of the UAE. And I know this because I've sold a $7 million property here, and I walked the plots, met the developers, seen exactly what's coming. Now, in this video, I'm going to show you what makes Haderia different from anything else in the UAE, the numbers behind the project, and why this might be the last time you see a waterfront property at this price. But before we dive into any of the details, if you do want to get ahead of any of the projects like this, I do have a free weekly WhatsApp broadcast. I'm going to be breaking down what the best property deals are in the market. You won't be spammed. You'll find the link below and sign up so you don't miss the next biggest opportunity. So let me break down why the island is worth your attention, starting with one of the most important factors, the pricing. You see, most Dubai investors, they don't know what good value looks like in Abu Dhabi. Okay, Haderia is sitting average plot per square foot at 1,600 and the average built up area of 2,150. But they don't really have a frame of reference. They don't know how strong that value is. But let's change the perspective. I've had clients ask me in Dubai, is this villa worth 2,500 dirhams in the back end of Meydan in maybe a District 11 community where it's not even a real master community, it's just little pockets of community with villas in. But I've got a direct comparable, Hid Al Sadiyat. Okay, this is an older beachfront community in Abu Dhabi, and here's the thing, right? The plot price per square foot for an oceanfront facing is 2,900 and the built-up area is 4,208. That's like double. And Hid Al Sadiyat's beach isn't well maintained, the villas are older, and they're not exactly finished to a premium standard anymore. And the amenities, I think there's one gym and one coffee shop. And yet the prices are significantly higher than Haderia. Take that 1,600 per square foot for the plot size and 2,150 for the built-up area, but you've got elevated views, a 17-kilometer pristine beach, full lifestyle ecosystem, ADQ government-backed. You see, the truth is Haderia doesn't have the direct comparable in the UAE because nothing like that's been built before. So if you are stepping into a new market, you need to know the right benchmarks. Otherwise, you're going to miss opportunities in plain sight. Now, pricing is one thing, but how you structure your payments can make or break a deal. People assume that big developers are only going to offer aggressive payment plans. I've seen many investors come to me and they've locked in so much money into brutal payment plans where they're shelling out cash on a rigid timeline and the construction has barely even started. And if they just looked at it a little different, they could have used that capital elsewhere, maybe done a renovation or done something more active with their money. I've talked about this in one of my previous videos. Some investors are happy, just to park their money and wait, and that's absolutely fine. But for others who want to use their money to work smarter, Haderia's payment plan will give you this flexibility. Now, hear me out here, right? The payment plan is milestone based, so you're only going to pay 10% on booking and 10% more over the next 2 years, 20% more before handover, and then 60% on the handover, which is mortgageable. So a 40-60 payment plan. And all payment plans, as I said, are linked to construction. So if the developer delays, well, you don't pay. And that's a huge deal, especially in a high ticket market. So you need to be smart. If a payment plan gives you the years before the bulk is due, use that time to put your capital to work. Let the project build in the background while your money keeps earning for you. This is all part of building a strategy, which is what we specialize in. Now, obviously a flexible payment plan is only as strong as the developer behind it because, you've seen these crazy good payment plans and the developers not be so good. And this is again where Haderia stands out. I've had clients come to me and say, this payment plan looks too good, must be a low quality developer, and it's the complete opposite. You see, Haderia is being built by Modon Properties, which are a government-backed master developer fully owned by ADQ, which is Abu Dhabi's sovereign wealth arm. ADQ controls something like $150 billion in assets and sits in the center of Abu Dhabi's long-term plan, which is attracting global capital and obviously top tier residents, right? Modon's not here just to sell you units. Their job is to create iconic, livable destinations. And Haderia, in my opinion, is the flagship luxury beachfront project. And here's the thing, right? Abu Dhabi's sovereign wealth fund has 1.67 trillion in assets. They don't need your money to get this built. They want your commitment to be part of it. And that's why the payment plan is so friendly. Now, of course, strong backing, as I said, very important. But even the best projects won't grow in value if the market's flooded with supply. And since most people, they don't really know Abu Dhabi's market so well, they might just assume that they're building exactly the same rate as Dubai. Because they're building at the same rate, nowhere near as many people are living over there. In reality, the biggest mistake is underestimating Abu Dhabi as a lifestyle destination. Why? Because I've had clients that only looked at Dubai because they assume that's where all of the action is. But then they spend time in Abu Dhabi and realize it offers a complete different lifestyle of peace, privacy, and exclusivity. Honestly, if you just drive there, you'll feel it. The lifestyle shift is happening, and to be honest, that is what is driving demand over there, especially with the value for money as well. Now, here's the thing, right? Abu Dhabi's population recently grew by around 289,000 people, and only 10,600 new homes were delivered. The gap is absolutely massive, especially when we look at the scarcity of ultra-luxury waterfront destinations. Abu Dhabi's supply is tightly controlled because only a number of developers are actually building over there. And it's not about how many homes there are, it's about how they're positioned. And this project is on another level, literally, right? The villas are built on man-made hills with a 15-meter elevation difference between each row. This means homes are getting either ocean views, skyline views, or both. And nobody's building in front of you. So when you look out from your infinity pool, you've got a beautiful view of the ocean or the city skyline, and then you've also got the 17 kilometers of beach. And the good thing is about Abu Dhabi, the water is crystal clear. It's not like that stagnant, dirty water, you know, that you'll find around other waterfront communities. It is so blue, it is beautiful. Honestly, check it out. And look, I always tell my clients, if you want long-term value, buy something that can't be copied. You can build more villas, but you can't recreate this type of project, these views, these coastlines, anywhere in the UAE. This is what makes it so unique. So when you're comparing luxury villa communities, you need to consider a lot. You know, the elevation, the location, the views, obviously all of this matters, right? And the next point is this: great views are one thing, but they mean nothing without a lifestyle to match. The mistake a lot of people make is thinking buying here is just about the villa. You know, if we take somewhere like I mentioned before in District 11, you know, if you're buying a house in one of these pocket communities, it's just a small location with no real ecosystem. Yes, you might be close to certain parts of Dubai, but Haderia is completely the opposite. This is a place where high net worth individuals are going to relocate and live. And the sports facilities, honestly, they cannot be beaten anywhere in the UAE. We're talking the most advanced wave pool, an Olympic grade air-conditioned velodrome, which is good in the heat. And they've got plans for 2 golf courses, equestrian centre, a hiking hill, and I believe even a horse racing track. They've not officially confirmed, but there will be tunnels also to reduce the time to drive to the financial district. So when you are looking at premium projects, don't just judge the property, judge the ecosystem. You know, Hudayriyat sets a new standard for what luxury master plans should look like, to be honest. And finally, let's talk about where the island actually sits. You know, people assume that an island like this could mean isolation or long commutes. And yes, some islands are totally out of seclusion and people want that. But Haderia isn't one of them. You're minutes away from central Abu Dhabi, just across from the ADGM, which is the Abu Dhabi Global Market, a hub for the finance and business. That's not isolation, that's strategic positioning. Haderia sits just off the coast of the mainland of Abu Dhabi, which is connected by a bridge, and close to future infrastructure such as the high-speed rail. So if you are commuting or you want fast access to Dubai in the future, you are going to have seclusion, but also connectivity. So when buying waterfront properties, look for projects that combine privacy with convenience. And as I say, this project is delivering both. So if Haderia sounds like the kind of opportunity you've been waiting for, or you just want to clarify whether it fits your goals, I offer one-to-one calls where we can discuss your budget, your strategy, and timeline in detail. I've also created a very detailed report which I will be sharing out with you. If you reach out to me via call, we can share it on there. Now you might be thinking, does this mean Dubai's done? Not at all, don't worry. But of course, the dynamics are changing. Haderia shows Abu Dhabi is catching up fast. You know, while Dubai's off-plan market faces a different challenge. Certain people see certain oversupplies in certain locations. But if you want to know whether Dubai is still worth investing in 2025, watch this next video where I break down the numbers, the risks, and the exact areas that still make sense to buy in.